Now in this video, I'm going to be going over how to throw the jab, all right? The jab is a very overlooked punch in boxing and is by far the most important. There's a lot of different ways you could throw the jab now as well. So it's easy to get confused as you're learning how to throw it. The first way I'm going to teach you guys is just basic standing still, how to throw the jab. So you're going to have your hands up, elbows in, chin down, and a slight bend in your knees. Now from here, when you're throwing the jab, all you guys are really doing is extending out your lead hand straight out. And as you're doing that, you're turning the fist over almost like you're pouring something out of a cup. That's what I want you guys to think of, okay? So you're just in your boxing stance, extending the arm, turning over the hand. Now, something else I'm doing, it's super subtle. Don't overdo it. I'm turning the left side of my hip and the left shoulder as I'm throwing the punch. I'm slightly turning those 2 points towards my target. So wherever I'm throwing that punch, I'm slightly pointing the left side of my hip and the left shoulder towards the punch, okay? Now, that's just basically how you throw the jab. Now, I'm also going to show you guys how to step with the punch because throwing it standing still is cool, but truthfully, when you're sparring, you're actually competing, you have to step with that punch much more often than you're staying still with it. So I'm going to start off teaching you guys how to step forward when you're throwing the jab. Now, when you're stepping forward throwing the jab, there's 2 different ways you could do this. The first way is stepping just with the front foot. So as the punch goes out, I want you to imagine like your hand and your foot move at the same time. It's going to be the jab hand and your front foot. All you're doing, extending the left straight out. As the punch lands, the foot lands. It takes a short step forward. I'm literally stepping like 1 or 2 inches. So I extend the shot, front foot steps out. Then from there, when I bring the punch back to my face, the front foot is taking a step back with the punch, okay? So it's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Simple. Practice that for 2 to 3 rounds, okay? Make sure you understand this. It's important before you move on. Now, next up is actually cutting the distance with the jab, okay? So when you're cutting the distance, now we're going to be stepping with both feet. So first half of the punch is the same. You're going to extend the jab out. Front foot is going to take that initial step. You're stepping about 1, 2, maybe 3 inches. Then from here, when you pull the hand back, back foot is stepping forward now. So now it's 1, 2. Let me make sure I'm still in frame. I want you guys to see my feet. It's going to be 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? It's another thing you guys should be practicing for rounds on end, especially when you're a beginner. It's boring. I know it's boring. I've been through it. But I promise, if you skip this, it's going to show, especially if you want to spar or you want to compete. Now I'm going to show you guys how to move to the left with the jab. Again, same thing. Now all we're doing, extending the punch straight out. Left foot takes a short step over towards the left side. By the way, I'm explaining this in the orthodox stance. If you're southpaw, you're just going to reverse it around. So it's going to be as I throw the punch, lead foot takes a step towards the lead side. Then as I pull the punch back, rear foot just follows up. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to move over to the right. This is where things might get a little tricky. And if you don't understand the other stuff yet, save this for later. You don't have to go into this right now. When you move over to the right, all it's going to be now as you throw the jab out, it's in reverse. So the rear foot is going to take the first step now. As I jab and move to the rear side, rear foot takes the first step. As I pull my hand back, lead foot follows up. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, everything is nice and short. Now, when we're moving back, this is the last direction that I'm going to teach in this video. It's going to be the same way as moving over to the rear side. So now it's going to be as the jab goes out, take a step back with your back foot. As you bring the hand back, front foot takes a step back as well. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? So that's how you move in every direction while you guys are throwing the jab. So again, there's a couple different ways you could throw it. You could throw the jab standing still. You could throw the jab stepping in with just 1 foot. You could throw it stepping in with both feet. You could throw it moving to both directions and moving back as well. Now practice this. Take your time. Do not rush through it. I promise you it'll show if you're rushing through this. This is boring stuff. I know it is, but it's going to give you the results that you want. Now, an easy drill to follow to actually get all of this stuff down is a box drill. So all we're going to be doing, we're going to be moving in like a box-like pattern. It's going to be like we're making a square with our footwork. What you guys are going to do from here, again, let me make sure my feet are in the frame. You guys are gonna throw a jab, step forward with that first one. You're stepping with both feet on all these punches. So it's 1, 2, stepping forward. Then we're gonna go to the lead side. 1, 2. Then we're gonna go to the rear side. So this is where things go in reverse. The back foot steps first. 1, 2, then over to the rear side. Same thing, back foot steps first. 1, 2. Then we're just gonna put it all together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right? So try that out, practice it, and don't rush through this. When you guys are learning your jab, this is the most crucial shot in boxing. So take your time with it. Really pay attention to the details because everything matters. If something feels off, something probably is off. If something feels off, ask your coach. Your coach will be able to point it out to you. Or if you don't have a coach and you're boxing at home, send the videos over to me. Now you guys can send the videos to me on Instagram or you could drop comments down below. I'll reply to every comment that I see. And if you're on Instagram sending me the video, I'll give you my own feedback on what looks right and what looks wrong. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure you subscribe, leave a like. It's gonna help me grow my channel and I'll see you guys in the next one.